Hi guys, today we are going to begin with the bitwise operators in Java. So what are bitwise operators? Bitwise operators you had used in digital electronics. Remember the symbols and or not. So these bitwise operators can also be used in Java. Before that, you must know that there is either a 64-bit representation or a 32-bit representation for a particular integer in Java. Usually the integer values in Java are represented by 32 bits. So 32 bits integer representation in Java. Integer representation in Java. So what happens in this 32 bits? So for example, if your value of any integer is supposed to, for example, x is equal to 2, in 32 bits integral representation in Java, it would be represented as 0, 29 zeros and a 1 0. So in total, it would be a 32-bit representation where the second last bit would be a 1, so that you must be familiar with the values of binary numbers, how to convert a binary number into a decimal number. So this particular has a value of 1, this has a value of 2, so on 4, 8, 16. So on converting this particular binary to a decimal value, we would be getting 2. So this is how values are stored in integer values are stored in Java in binary format. So now what we would be doing, we would be performing the bitwise operations that we were so familiar with in digital electronics. The bitwise operation first we would be doing is AND operation. So let's do an AND operation. In case of AND operation, we know that in case we have both ones, we would be getting a 1. If we are getting 0 1, we would be getting a 0. In case of 1 0, we would be getting a 0 again. And in case of a 0 0, we would be getting 0. So in case of Java, to perform an AND operation, we use the ampersand symbol. Okay, so for example, you have x is equal to 3, that is represented by 0, 29 and further on 29 zeros and 1 1. Further, so let's keep it as 28 zeros and 0 1 1, and y is equal to 6, which is given by 0, 28 zeros and 1 1 0. So this is the binary representation of 6 in 32 bits, and this is the binary representation of 3 in 32 bits. So if we perform x and y, we must be getting, so 1 0 would be giving me 0, 1 1 would be giving me 1, 0 1 would be giving me 0, and so on. I would be getting all of the values as 0. So this would be my end product, which is equal to 2. So the value of x and y, when I convert it into an integer, I must be getting 2. So let's jump into our the idea and let's start coding for this particular operation. So for example, I have int x is equal to 6 and int y is equal to 3. Suppose I print this particular operation, that x and y, which is equal to the AND operation, and let's just print it. We are getting 2 as our output. So let's let it finish running, and we are getting 2 as our output. So this is how what we had seen here, and we had converted it into an integer value, that we must be getting 2 as the output for AND operation. We are getting the same when we are running the code. So this is how AND operation is performed in Java. Now for the second bitwise operation, that is OR operation. So in case of OR operations in Java, it is represented by, so OR operation, OR operation in Java is represented by a bar symbol. What are the conditions of an OR operation? If we are getting 1 1, we would be getting the output as 1. If we are getting 0 1, we would be getting the output as 1. If we are getting 1 0 as the input, we would be getting the output as 1. And as well as we are getting 0 0, we would be getting the output as 0. So if any of the input bits is 1, then the output is always 1. So let's keep the previous example only, where we are considering x is equal to 6 and y is equal to 3. So x is equal to 6 would be represented by 0, 28 zeros and 1 1 0. Similarly, 3 would be represented as 0, 28 zeros and 0 1 1. And if we are performing x or y, we would be getting an output as 0, 1 1 1. So this is the representation of 7. So on performing an OR operation of 6 and 3, we must be getting the integer 7 as our output. Let's check in our idea and see what we are getting the output of the OR operation when we are performing it between 6 and 3. So here we have taken x is equal to 6 and y is equal to 3. When we perform x or 3, that x or y, that is 6 or 3, if we run our code, let's wait for a couple of seconds for it to complete compiling, and on running it gives me 7. So as we had seen that on performing the OR operation, we must be for 6 and 3, we must be getting 7. So this so we have seen it in our idea also. So this is how AND and OR operations are performed in Java.